Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about that module number 2, that is distance production. Here we are going to discuss about that impedance relay. To discuss about that an impedance relay is simply called as which measures that importance of the line at the relay location from the fault location. When a fault occurs on the protected line section, that means wherever the line we have to protect that line, if a fault happened, then the measured impedance is the impedance of the line section between the relay location and the point of the fault. The amount of the impedance what we are going to calculate it here, it is nothing but between relay location and point of the fault. The relay location and point of the fault distance, if it is increases, then the value of the impedance is also increases. So therefore the amount of the impedance what we are calculated between the fault location and the relay location, whose impedance value is proportional to the length of the line. That is, if the fault location and the relay location is far distance is there, then impedance is increases. If it is less, then the impedance values get decreases. Therefore the impedance is proportional to the length of the line and hence to the distance along the line. In general, the term impedance can be applied to a resistance alone or a reactance alone or a combination of two. But in case of an distance relaying terminology, the term impedance includes both resistance as well as the reactance. So let us look about that operating principle of an impedance relay. If you see that operating principle of an impedance relay, the impedance relay operation is depends upon where the current is compared with the voltage at the relay location. Therefore, the actuating quantities of fault current and fault voltage. The fault current is going to produce a torque which is called as positive torque and also called as operating torque, which is used to break the circuit breaker contacts to isolate that faulty section of the system and healthy section of the system. Once the fault is cleared, it renovates the voltage. Therefore, the voltage is producing that 1 volt torque which is called negative torque, which is used to restraining torque, that means to close the contacts of that circuit breaker. There is a particular equation for better understand about the concept of an torque for an electromagnetic relay. If you see about the torque expression of an electromagnetic relay, the torque expression can become as T is equal K1 I square minus K2 V square minus K3. In this torque formula, where K1, K2 and K3 are the constants, and one more, that among these three constants K3 can becomes as 0 when we are not considering that K3 as a constant. It's because of control spring effect. If control spring effect we are not taken into account, then we can take that K3 value is equal to 0. If K3 value becomes to 0 or it is very small, then the above torque expression we can rewrite by making that K3 as 0 as like this, that is T is equal to K1 I square minus K2 V square. So how we are going to operate this impedance relay? It depends upon the following condition which has been satisfied here. So in the above equation, that is torque which is equal to K1 I square minus K2 V square. So among these two torques, K1 I square and K2 V square, K1 I square is nothing but positive torque simply called as operating torque, and K2 V square is called as negative torque, which is used for restraining torque. That is, once the fault is cleared, to renovate the voltage and we are going to close the circuit breaker. So during the time of fault condition, that is under fault condition, the fault current is infinity and it is maximum. Therefore K1 I square value is greater than K2 V square. So if K1 I square value is greater than K2 V square, from this expression we can write that means if we send that in this above equation, that is if we send this I square to that square, then become as V square divided by I square. If you send this K2 to that side, K1, then become as K1 divided by K2. So if v square divided by I square value which is less than that of k1 divided by k2, then here square and square may get each other, and v by I is less than k. V by I is nothing but z. Impedance value is less than k. Then what is k? K is nothing but preset value, that is nothing but the amount of that impedance which was offered between two successive poles. Between two successive poles the amount of impedance is always same, so that value is very high, whose value is exactly the amount of impedance which was offered between the two successive poles, that is k. If the fault is obtained at any one of the place, definitely the value of the impedance from fault location to the relay location which is always less than that of the k. So here we can conclude that the condition to exist or the condition to satisfy the operation of the relay, that is the impedance value should less than that of k, then the relay will function and it generates the trip signal to circuit breaker to isolate the faulty section of the system and healthy section of the system. For suppose for static and microprocessor based relays, we are going to compare I and V. If I is greater than V or if V is greater than I, we can conclude that it's a positive torque and negative torque. Positive torque is called as operating torque and negative torque is called as restraining torque to close the circuit breaker. Therefore, the following condition should be satisfied, that is I value should be greater than V for static and microprocessor relays. If K1 I value is greater than K2 V, then the condition of the relay has been satisfied and relay will generate that command signal to the circuit breaker as to isolate that faulty section of the system and the healthy section of the system. Now here, if K1I is greater than K2V, I am sending that I to this side, that is V by I can become as K1 by K2. Of course, K1 by K2 value is greater than V by I. Here also the condition to perform that static relay and microprocessor based impedance relay, that is impedance value should be less than that of the value of K, then the relay will gives the trip signal to circuit breaker as to make the circuit, as to isolate that faulty section of the system and healthy section of the system. The relay operates if the measured impedance is less than the given constant, then the relay will function. And the impedance relay characteristics, if you see, the impedance relay characteristics can looks at a straight line which is passing over through the origin. If the characteristics are a straight line which are passing over through the origin, that will happen for microprocessor based and static relay, and for electromagnetic relay the characteristics are not linear and slightly it is bent for electromagnetic relay initially at starting position. Initially at starting position the characteristics are not starting from the origin for electromagnetic type relay, but for static relay and for microprocessor based relay the characteristics are showing that a dotted line at initial condition. There are two types of torques, one is called as operating torque, one is called as restraining torque. Operating torque is called as positive torque. The positive torque lies, the value should be in this zone, and the negative torque called restraining torque lies in this zone. Then the relay will function. That's why the operating characteristics are like a straight line for static relay and for numerical relay, and for electromagnetic type base relay the characteristics are initially slight bend is there. So the figure 6.1 shows that operating characteristics of an impedance relay. If you see that the same operating characteristics in RX diagram, where R is taken on the real axis and X is taken on the Y axis, where X is called as reactance and R is called as the resistance axis, then the impedance, the amount of the impedance which was shown in this quadrant, that is, this is that arrow mark. The magnitude of this arrow mark, the length of this arrow mark shows nothing but magnitude of the impedance called as Z. Whenever the impedance value which lies within this circle or operating region, the relay will function. Whenever the value of impedance Z which lies outer than this circle or outer than the operating characteristics, the relay won't function. And the radius of the circle is nothing but the magnitude of the impedance which is called as Z at here. and the phase angle between R and Z should be pi. So therefore the fault lies within the operating region of this circle. The relay will use the trip signal to the circuit breaker. Whenever the fault lies outer than the operating region of this circle, the relay won't respond and it won't give any trip signal to the circuit breaker. Therefore the relay will function whenever the operating characteristics lies within the circle, or whenever the fault lies within that operating region, then the K value is greater than that of impedance value. Whenever that fault lies exactly in the circle of the operating characteristics, then the value of Z is equal to K. Therefore the radius of that operating region, that is Z, which is also equal to K when fault lies exactly in the operating region of a circle in the RX diagram, and pi is nothing but the phase angle between V and I, and also that the operation of this impedance relay is independent of the phase angle pi, and the operation depends on the magnitude of Z only. Therefore if a fault point is on the protected section of the line, it will lie within the circle, and for this condition the relay will operate and send a tripping signal to the circuit breaker. If the fault lies outside of the circle, then it won't respond this relay. Another relay which comes under that region, that blocking zone, will activate and that will function. Therefore if a fault point lies in this zone, that is, it is beyond the protected section of the line, the relay will not respond. In such a situation, the fault point may lie in the protection zone on some other relay. The operating time of the relay is constant and it is irrespective of the fault location within the protected section as shown in this figure. If you see this figure here, we are showing that the operating time is always constant for any magnitude of the fault current. So it is irrespective of the time, and it is depends upon the magnitude of the impedance Z only, it will function. Thank you.